Welcome to the Tone Jerks podcast. I'm your host, Brian Gower, and with me today is...
Kyle McIntyre.
Oh, yeah. So, let's just jump into it, Kyle. What's new in your life? What's grooving? What is good?
Well, I'm sure you figured, it's another week. I've probably bought some more MXR pedals. So that's exactly what I've done.
What'd you get?
I got a classic 108 fuzz, which is it's pretty big, actually. It feels like it's a pound and a half of a pedal.
Because it's heavy, that means it's a good pedal.
Exactly. You weigh it, you go, this is a good one.
That's a good one, too.
It's basically a fuzz face.
Okay.
So I've been kind of messing with that. It's cool. It's totally different than the Blue Box.
Okay, yeah.
Blue Box is that video game kind of bit crushing. No, it's not really crushing.
Because it's like an octave fuzz is the Blue Box.
Yeah.
And then this one's just a fuzz face.
Just fuzz face.
I'm not familiar with any fuzz faces.
Yeah. Well, I'll let you borrow it. My prestigious MXR collection I'm working on. I think I'm up to almost 12 pedals now.
Yeah, I did borrow that Shinjuku.
You still have it?
I still have it.
Bastard.
It's I want to try it with single coils. It's dark.
Do you want to try with the Jazzmaster?
Yeah. No, I mean I like it. I'm like, whoa, it's exactly what you said. Mm-hmm. It's really different than any of the other overdrives that we have.
Yeah.
So it's a good score on that one. You got that deal on that one.
And then I got a GTOD, which is basically the same thing as that Zach Wild that I got,
but it's
green. Yeah, and it doesn't.
It's like a
it doesn't have a lame graphic on it, so it's a sparkly green.
Yeah, no, that's pretty cool.
I bought it for $40, so that was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I bought it and realized the guy was in San Diego.
Yeah,
and so I just did local pickup. I was like, oh,
on Reverb.
Yeah, on Reverb.
Oh.
And I picked it up the next day. So I was driving home from work, stopped halfway home, and met in a parking lot and got it.
Huh, I never done that on Reverb.
Yeah, I was because I had put a bid on another pedal that same day. I was like, I did a offer.
Yeah,
I did an offer on it, and I realized it was in Moscow, and I'm like, oh shit, hopefully this guy counters with another one. I'm like, fuck. I don't want. It was cheap. I'm like, but I don't want to wait a month and a half, and I don't even know if shit from Russia will come in.
Yeah,
because I've tried to buy other things from Russia.
Doesn't.
I mean, not. There's certain things that they do not ship.
Okay.
But I was like, I don't want to deal with that, and it was a simple pedal. It's something I could find.
Was it which one? GTOD or what?
No, it wasn't GTOD. It was the Badass Custom Distortion 78.
What you need is that reverb, dude.
I know.
MXR reverb.
Yeah, but I'm saving my money up for that and No, I'm looking for when they come down a little more. I don't want to spend $130 on an MXR pedal.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
$80.
Yeah, but they're all hovering. I'll try, but
offer somebody $80.
$80, bitch, and that's,
take it or leave it. Because $80 is $80. They're gonna be like, whoa,
man, that's real money that comes through the internet. I'll take it.
You know how much beer I could buy with that?
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. $40, and then
was the fuzz? Was that a $40 deal?
That was from Canada.
Was that a $40 deal?
It was $40, but $17 shipping, so it's $57.
Okay,
so it's still not bad.
Not a bad deal.
Not a bad deal, dude. $2, dude.
More than $2, but yeah. Yeah, shit. Okay.
And I got another one in the mail too. But
what else did you get?
It's coming from Burbank. It's a.
Oh, you haven't got it yet.
I haven't got it yet, but
okay,
it was that same.
We'll save it for another day, because another day, another MXR. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So shit.
So I think I have about 12 now.
You're very dirt heavy on this MXR.
I know. Well, that's all MXR. They don't really have a whole lot.
Well, they have modulation.
But what's really good when they move into modulation, they're really good. They're really good pedals.
Yeah. I would say get a Phase 90, but you just use my 95.
Yeah, but I'm thinking about getting an actual Phase 90.
Get the EVH Phase 90.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
EVH, just something different.
That'd be sweet.
Something different. Well, what'd you get? I got an EVH MXR.
Yeah,
what you gonna do?
They're pretty sweet.
Oh, I guess that's new. That's what's new for me. What about you?
I got what's new. So, friend of the show, Johnny Ray, came out to one of our shows, and he gave me an early birthday present. He gave me I guess it's limited edition. So we talked about it last time. A purple sparkle Earthquaker Devices Westwood.
Yeah.
I think it's like a clean overdrive, but with like a bass and treble EQ.
Nice.
And it's like a boost and cut on both the treble and bass side. It's, so you set them noon and it's like, that's like flat.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty cool. It's actually really cool. It's like the EQ on that thing is the most powerful part of it. It's like, okay, just tilt it a little bit more and it can go like, oh shit, this is like really bassy.
You're in a different territory.
Yeah, and you can get like, okay, if you want this thing to add a lot more treble to like cut up on a dirty amp, it's actually like, oh shit, this is super usable. I'm like, dang. Well, I mean, big thanks to Johnny Ray. I'm like, that's a hell, because he's like, oh, I just saw it and I think he saw a good deal on it. It's like, oh, it's purple sparkle. Here you go. It's more because the other one's like green with more green print.
We talk about Johnny Ray every episode. Could you try to not do it this time?
He's a good dude.
I'm just kidding.
He's a cool dude.
Hello,
I'm
Johnny.
sorry. I'm a Johnny Ray fan. I'm sorry you're not, Kyle.
I wish he had his own podcast. And I would listen to it.
He's like kind of like hijacking this one. He's not.
He's here with us in spirit.
Yeah, in spirits.
This is a topic that Johnny Ray sent in, and he suggests we talk about it the whole episode.
Yeah, so I was digging on that one. He was telling me about, he's like, I did play it for a little while on bass.
Wait, he ruined it for you?
So he tried it on bass. He said it works really well. It's like a pedal that, can go back and forth. That can be like, oh, it's not going to like, because the thing with like drive pedals is like, they can just like cut your low end. So you're just like, oh, guess what? Like I'm like now in guitar territory. So like all the frequencies that I was trying to fill in are now gone. So like the whole like boom sound of a bass or like the feel of it can be gone. Like if you're not using the right type of pedal. And this one, I'm like, oh, you can just like cut in. Like he was saying like, okay, get the, roll back the treble. And it's like, he's like, oh, I like to do it like a pyramid. Roll the bass up just a little bit and roll the treble back a little bit. And he's like, oh shit, it's fucking great. You can add all the grit to it, but still have like a clean sound. Mm-hmm. Like your bass kind of like cuts through a little bit more with a little more grit. So
I have to try that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to trying that on bass.
You don't play bass?
I mean, I try.
Yeah, not very well.
But I mean, it's a really good one. I think you've tried it for a little while.
Yeah.
Or just like for a hot minute plugged it in.
Yeah, I want to definitely.
We're at a point now, which is like a good, it's a good problem to have. We have a lot of pedals at our disposal and at our fingertips. I'm like I last week gave you the Caverns. And,
oh my God.
And I'm like, shit, I haven't played that thing. And I'm like, I kind of want it back. And I was
playing it yesterday. Holy shit. That thing is crazy with that shimmer.
Yeah.
I've never played a shimmer reverb.
Yeah.
So it feels like there's a choir backing you and you're like, all right, boys, let's go.
That's what you were saying last time. So you're here, here in your garage, just like rocking out.
Yeah.
And your wife just like bangs on the door. Shut the fuck up, you guys.
Go home. And then the delay on that's pretty cool too.
it's actually really good.
Yeah,
I like it. So
pretty nice delay. What I liked about the modded reverb, there's like a modulated reverb on there. It sounded almost like a surfy kind of reverb. I know there's a spring on there too.
Yeah, that's your surf kind of deal.
Yeah,
right?
but I think with the modded one, you could, I don't know. I just heard that kind of more than the spring.
Okay.
The spring setting that's in there.
Nice. Yeah. So that's about it. Just too many pedals, not enough time. It's woe is me, I guess. Yeah. poor me. But this is a new what's new for both of us. So in case you guys didn't know, you guys haven't, maybe it's your first time. Kyle and I are in the same band. I play guitar, Kyle plays bass. We both sing, and we play a lot of shows locally in San Diego, Southern California. And we had a show last Friday. It was a lot of fun. So we played the Tower Bar here in San Diego.
We killed it.
Yeah, it was actually pretty.
It was awesome.
Yeah, it was really great. Fuck, there's a lot of people there. A lot of boozing going on. A lot of rocking out. People really dug it. It's like great vibes. I love playing a show. Like I said, like when you play a good show, you're on a high for a good couple of days. And this was like a good one. And not to say that it's all about that, but we did make some sales and sold some records and shirts and stuff like that. So today we are. We're not kicking it in the gutter this time. We're drinking some nice beer.
Yeah, Sean.
We're drinking some craft beer from a local brewery, Groundswell. So shout out. No Mickey's this time.
Yeah, I'm drinking a local brand here, Kirkland.
Oh God, don't
Signature.
say that. You're drinking.
I'm drinking blended Scotch whiskey.
You're drinking Costco Scotch. Okay, good.
Oh man, it's good.
Well, we're balancing it out. I'm drinking a nice beer. You're drinking whatever. I mean, I don't know. Is that good whiskey?
I don't know. I'm enjoying it.
It's getting me drunk. So yeah, it's doing the trick.
This is my second glass.
So yeah, so we ended up it's good times. Not that it's like the most important part, but when you
definitely makes you feel good that someone wants to buy
your stuff, buy your music, and the fact that like nowadays that people are like, oh, they're streaming on Spotify or never actually buy stuff. They're buying local music. They're buying stuff from a band. They're buying shirts and stuff like
Yeah.
I was like almost like flabbergasted. I'm like, oh, you want to give me money for my product? It was a lot of fun. We played really well actually. So this is a bar where it's like they don't mic anything but vocals. It's kind of like a practice.
There's
PA.
no sound engineer there or sound guy.
Kind of doing your own thing. So we worked really. Brian, our drummer, is actually really good about dialing stuff in too. So he does. He set up some of his own drum mics and kind of worked mics, and like between the three of us, our powers combined, we got a good sound going. And people are like, "Wow, you guys sounded great at a bar like this." And with people in there too, and canceling out some of the sound reflections, it was like packed house. It was good. So good times. So and then after the show, like people were coming up to us and asking about our gear and.
Yeah, we've had that like mildly, like, oh, that sounded good. What is that? And you talk, but we had like people like run us over, like, what are you guys playing? Like for me, I'm guy who was like standing in front of my bass amp the whole time, actually sitting. There's he found like a booth, like he was just staring at the bass the whole time, like, oh man,
like he's feeling it.
Yeah, I found out he was actually like a bassist and was like, how do I get that? I'm like, all right, well, this is what you don't. It's like, don't fucking give a shit about the...
Keep sitting down because it's going to be a second. Don't stand up.
Yeah, I just gave him like my theory on it, like people spend too much time on like the bass.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't, if you get a good amp, your bass, you have a shit bass, it'll sound good.
Yeah.
And people spend thousands of dollars on a guitar and don't spend any money on their amp.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
it goes the same way with like guitar and bass. It's like have a cheap guitar but a really nice amp.
Yeah,
you're gonna be good.
Yeah,
it doesn't have to be like a Dumble, but it's like okay, maybe like a $1,200 like Fender or like Marshall or something like that. Yeah. It's gonna be great. It's like that's where you want to spend the most money if you're gonna be performing. I want to say.
Yeah,
and that was cool. Like I was like saw like a crowd of people like around your bass rig, like you showing them, and then I run up to the bar to go get a beer or whatever, and I'm like, oh, somebody stopped me, like, oh, can I see your pedal board? And then I'm like showing people, and they're like running through. I'm like, that is huge. That's a big board. I'm like, well, he's like, I saw you doing a lot of crazy stuff on it. It's like, well, how do I get that? I'm like, you can if you want to buy this fractal. And they're like, what? And they're like, well, I'm like, and I running them through. It's like, that's super complicated, but I mean, it's shit. And I'm like, what are all these cables? I'm like, oh, I run 4 cable methods. So I do this and I run to the amp here and there and da da da. And I'm like, the guy was like, whoa, you know a lot about your stuff. I'm like, well, I got a podcast. And I was like, no, some people were talking to us about the podcast, which I thought was really cool. So, but yeah, I was like showing people and they're like, not turned off by it, but they're like, ooh, that's intense. Like that's like they're like, how do you have such a big pedal board? Like you're like a shoegaze band size board, but for a pop punk band. Because like all the other bands were just like, oh, directly into their amps.
Well, I think it looks complicated. It's like people like look at it and go, oh, shit. But it's really simple.
Even like once don't like take it the wrong way, but even like you're in my band and you look at my board.
I don't know how to operate it.
You're like, oh shit.
No, I don't. I'm just saying. From what I hear from you, I believe you.
Yeah. You're like, I believe it's easy. You make it look easy, so I think it is.
Once you break open the manual, and call customer service a couple times, you probably could maybe play something through it.
Yeah. Like the manual is like 60 plus pages, and have not read all of them. It's like, or no, I think it's like up to 80. And it's like they download. Anyways, that thing is really cool, and it was like a lot of people like are interested in it. I'm like, well, how do you get these sounds? I'm like, well, yeah, because I noticed you jumping from like reverb, and then you actually did like these crazy solos and stuff like that.
That's cool. People are they can actually hear you in a shitty bar like that.
Yeah. And it was cool. I mean, I really dug it too because people who have seen us, they're like, oh, not only the gear part side of it, but like for me, just to like, tack it on to like, the ego side of things. They're like, oh, you're getting good at guitar.
Yeah.
Which is, I'm like a little backhanded, but they're like, yeah, no, you're doing a lot of good stuff. And it's like, yeah, because like I'm basically like becoming more confident in like my solos and stuff like that. But I do like the easiest basic pentatonic licks. Or like I'm at home in figure 1 in my pentatonics, nowhere else. So I always find out like, let me move it to figure 1 in my pentatonic minors, and I'm gonna solo in it. And then people are like, "Man, you're good." Like
you good, Bo?
It's like you got good. You're just like, dude, you got really good. I'm like, yeah, there you go. So if I just learn the other 4, then maybe I'll become very confident and competent guitar player. But for a punk band, I guess it's pretty good.
Yeah.
So, I guess that kind of brings into like a little bit of a topic from the What's New.
Yeah.
So from that show, there was a band that kind of brought the vibes down a little bit, but they did not succeed because it was a good night. Everybody had fun. All the other bands and the patrons of the show had a good time. The bar, people, there was money.
The show went on.
Yeah, the show went on, as they say. So a band, it was a 4-band bill, ended up being a 3-band bill. So band showed up. We got there like over an hour before, doors for loading and stuff like that. And we're, we don't want, we're kind of getting ready, getting ready for the show outside the venue. And then like this car pulls up, and then these guys, like I'm, assuming they're a band, because they all kind of like mob up to the door. And I was like, I walk up to them like, oh, stick out my hand. I'm like, hey guys. And they walk right past me. Okay. Well, maybe you didn't see me. So, who knows?
You blend in pretty well.
Yeah, I'm like, 4-inch high hair. I'm like, well, hey, maybe you didn't see me. Thought I was a cactus or something. So, so I'm like, okay. And then he walked past me, and I hear him talking to his friends. He's like, oh yeah, we got to play fucking second, dog, because I got to get out of here. I'm like, oh. And then we like our friend who was billed second on the show with like about like 3 weeks.
Another band.
Yeah, in another band. They're playing second, and this was like all planned out like 3 weeks in advance when the show was booked. This band was supposed to be closing, by the way, if I didn't say that. So they're saying, oh, we're playing second. And then like, oh, our friend's band's like, oh, actually, no, the show and the schedule is all here. We're all like planned out. Like this band's first, we're second, plane's third, and you guys are closing. He's like, oh, I don't think so. And he just grabs his phone and walks away. I'm like, so we don't even know who his name is. I'm just assuming that they're now the last band. I don't know any of this yet. So he's on the phone. He's like texting and calling people. And I'm like, okay, well, just whatever. Carry on. And then the show goes on. The doors open and people are like, we're all hanging outside. We're like, oh, watching the first band. And then the promoter comes out. He's like, oh, yo, so is there any way that you guys can close? And then the last band, I'm not going to say their name, they want to play second. And then can we just like push you guys back? I'm like, no. Because the whole reason why we booked the show kind of like with only 3 weeks notice was the stipulation that we're not going to close and that we're going to be back to back with our friends.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, we kind of didn't want to close again. Because, in case you guys don't know, closing is not headlining. Yeah. If you're playing a local show, closing is closing. It's not always the greatest, but you have to do it. And we've done it like, 3 or 4 shows in a row. So I'm like, we could have easily not played a show. It's not like we're hurting. And so like, that's what it was. And then this band is like trying to pull the shit. It's like, oh, and then he comes back. He's like, oh, they said that they'll play for like 15 minutes and then they'll be off. I'm like, bullshit. Because guess what? It's going to be over 15 minutes, probably 20 minutes for them to set up.
Yeah.
15 minutes. Yeah. That's going to turn to 25 to 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And then another 15 to 20 minutes to like, no. They're going to squeeze in their whole set because like nobody is going to set up for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to set up for 15 minutes.
What a bunch of assholes.
And I told the promoter, I'm like, look, if this guy is going to do this, I'm like, we're bouncing. And then our friends who are supposed to play second, we're bouncing too. So you're going to have a 2-band bill. I'm like, that's fine. You can totally do it. I'm like, we're not unpacked yet. Our car is still full because we're not going to load the venue up with our gear. And he's like, no, I'll come back. And then the other guys got so pissed that we didn't buckle. I told him like, I'm like, we booked the show 3 weeks ago with that thing.
That stipulation that we weren't going to move.
And then the promoter, he's like, no, I have this email from them saying that they will close. It's like, yeah, no, we'll play fourth.
Yeah.
And then, so anyways, it was this whole thing. So they tried to pull this shit. And then they ended up like just packing up their, they didn't even unload. They like packed up their gear and they're trying to shoo people away from the door. Like, yo, don't go to the show, don't go to the show, don't go to the show. And they ended up just like leaving with a couple of their homies to go to a different bar to drink and pay a cover.
Yeah.
Instead of at the bar that they were already at, where there's beer and shit. So to me, that is fucking chicken bullshit.
The best part is that the people that were asking me about my gear and buying all that merch, they came to see that band.
Yeah, they were their friends.
Yeah, and since the band left, they had already paid to get inside. They're like, "Well, I'm not leaving. I'm gonna hang out.
Yeah, I already paid $5,
show."
And then they're like, "Oh, they probably gave us a shot." And they're like, "Oh yeah, guess what? This band's good."
Yeah.
So they stuck around. So I'm glad people did that, and nobody left. Like, maybe like a handful of people, like their girlfriends or whatever, left with them. But I was like, I'm glad that people are like, yo, I'm not gonna fucking leave.
Yeah.
I already paid my $5. I'll just watch a band because
Yeah.
that's what I came out here to do on a Friday night, to watch bands and hang out and have fun.
That's pretty cool.
And so don't do that type of shit. So
Don't
with
be a
that
prick.
That's our thing. It's like, so that was pretty fucked up. I thought that was pretty fucking lame to like pull the shit of like, oh, last minute. And the thing is, it all like, sometimes we're cool about that and we'll shift like whatever. But like this was one thing, like the guy was a dick before we even went on. Like before the show was even started, like he did not even want to acknowledge me. So that's like, what the fuck is that shit? Like be nice to people.
Yeah.
Like be nice, guys. And then, Cockhead over there is like saying that he's like, oh, I got a dip. I can't play past second slot. So he already said he's leaving.
What do you have, like a dentist appointment in the morning?
I
or
don't know.
something?
He's like, I don't know. You got a hot date or something. So like that type of shit. I'm like, whoa. So you're not even planning on staying the night? No.
It's kind of part of being a band, you know.
Yeah,
it's like you pay your dues, you play late, you play those shit shows,
and then you stay for the band. So this was like, okay,
it was kind of a moment that it was kind of cool for us to be like, no,
yeah, we stood our ground with our friend's band. They played their second slot, and we played our third slot, and ultimately we did close the show.
But we didn't stop playing at was it 12 or 2? Yeah.
our set would have been like starting at like 12:30. I'm like, no, we ain't doing that. So we got the slot that we wanted, and you
played for like 40 minutes.
Yeah,
too.
Everybody dug it.
We were able to play a little longer.
Yeah, everybody dug it. The bar was happy. Like I said, like all the people there were stoked, and people liked us. So anyway, so that's not besides the point. The whole topic of here. So now you guys heard the whole scenario. It's kind of fucked up, right? Don't do shit like that.
Yeah.
So we wanted to this part of this podcast is not only about gear, but it's about being in a band and band stuff and music side of things. So we wanted to be like, if you're going to be in a band, maybe you are in one, and maybe you do this type of stuff, don't pull this bullshit. So this is shit to not pull if you're in a band. So I got a couple things. So that's one of them. If the set times are already posted and you're all agreed upon, especially if it's all written down in email and text, you agreed upon it. Play it. Be professional and do it. This is kind of like, a job, That's a dumb thing to say. It's not like a job. It's fun. You guys all agreed upon it.
You said it, being professional.
Be professional.
There you go.
Yeah. So it was agreed upon. And then they tried to pull that shit of like, changing the slot. I'm like, no, dude. You we're probably trying to pull that shit, like saying like, oh yeah, bands are going to buckle. Bands are going to change, whatever.
Yeah.
And then we didn't. So they got pissed because they're like, oh, I didn't get my way. I didn't get what I wanted. Oh, no. Sorry, dude. Sorry. It happens.
Don't be a bitch.
You got to close. So that's one thing. Do you have anything? I got a list. Maybe we'll just riff off of a list.
Yeah. There's tons of things that like.
These kind of go hand in hand. So it's like you got to watch all the bands. If you're playing in a band, I really am a big advocate for watching everybody's set. From the opener to the fucking closer. You go to the beginning and watch everybody. You watch them to the end. One of your band members should be doing it.
Yeah.
Be a representative. Like if the other guy's got to go get food or whatever. If the other guy's like, maybe one of the guys is like, oh, I got to work early. Okay, whatever. The other two are going to go.
Yeah.
I'm usually the one who stays there. But there's been a couple times where, I've had to leave. I'm like, oh, I got to work at like 6 or 5 in the morning. And then Kyle and the drummer, they're like, yo, we're partying. We're going to hang out. And so like they were representing everybody. They were representing the band.
You have my name tag on, playing without a pilot.
Yo, I'm with the band.
Ask me if you have any questions.
Yeah. So my whole thing is like this kind of go hand in hand. Leaving early, after your set, and showing up right before your set.
Yeah.
Don't
That's bullshit.
fucking do that. That's why a lot of promoters try not to post the set times before the day of the show.
So they don't, this come at 9:30 so you can see only me.
Yeah, and I'll never promote a show like that. I'll never say like we're on at this time unless they're my close like friends or like.
Yeah, if someone like texts me and asks me, hey, what time are you on? Like then, one person, I'll let them know. Like around, and I still have them
around this time.
We're going 11. Come in maybe
10:30. Yeah,
maybe 8.
Yeah,
here at 8. Yeah,
maybe yesterday. So this kind of going hand in hand. I'm like, watch the other bands. Just watch the other bands.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like, is your life really that important? Do you think of like, you're playing a show, just do it.
Yeah,
like
it's part of putting in the work.
Yeah. So another one that I had was playing too long. You know how long your set is?
Oh my god!
Like you run over time.
That's probably the most irritating one.
Like you're pushing the whole show back. People like there's a curfew sometimes
because I know that you're gonna be playing longer, and then you're gonna be breaking down longer. If you're that much of an asshole, you're gonna play longer. You're also gonna leave your shit on stage.
Another point that I had.
That's the next one.
Leaving your gear on stage, like for too long after your set, and also this is sometimes like you have to know your venue. Like sometimes you cannot backline.
Yeah,
like. If you can agree with the other bands of maybe like a shared backline, that's like usually the best. Usually try and do that. Share cabs.
Share cab, yeah.
If you can, like drummers are picky, sharing drum sets,
Yeah.
And you're changing out the snare or maybe like cymbals, the breakables kind of deal. But leaving your gear up on stage when it's like, or like at a crowded bar, I'm like, don't like crowd up the bar so people can't hang out with your gear. Leave it in your fucking car, Go out there and like have one of your guys just hanging out, smoking, watching it. If you're like, I don't want to leave my stuff in my car because I want to hang out and drink with my friends. I'm like, I don't know, dude.
Figure it out, man.
Yeah. Or try and work out with the other bands. I'm like, that's the type of shit. But also like the other side, like you were saying, leaving your shit on stage too long so that people cannot break down. I'm like, do not break your cymbals down and your stands on stage. If you're a drummer and if you have a drummer in your band, fucking get your cymbals and everything off stage.
Help him.
You help him.
You have like 3 major components, okay? Let's say 3. Your amp, your pedalboard, and your bass. Or your guitar, whatever. Yeah. Get that shit off.
And then help him.
And that, for me, I would say setting up, having the drummer. I mean, hopefully your drummer's a smart guy. Sometimes they're not. Hopefully they set up their shit before they get on stage.
Yes.
Instead of like, put the bass drum down now, kick out the legs. Oh, where's my snare drum? Let me take it out of the case. It's like set up your hardware, get everything ready to go.
Like set it up like exactly how you're gonna have it, but all you have to do is just place it. Because the easiest thing that like
if you set it up, someone else can hand it to you, and you can set it where you want it.
The rest of your band, can do it. I'm like like our drummer Brian, like he does that now, because he's been playing. He's not a noob. He's been playing in bands for a long time.
Yeah,
we've all been doing it since we were kids. I'm like, guess what? Because you don't want to be like that guy, like, I'm struggling to figure shit out. Get it set up. You get it done. Get it quick. Because I'm like, to us, like the biggest thing with like shows, it's like you got to be done in 15 minutes. Set up in 15 minutes.
Yeah, I think we're past that.
Yeah,
but. I mean, not past that, but before.
Like, we're way done before that, and I'm like, okay, cool.
What that allows is if you have a technical issue, you can find it right then.
And
perfect. I plugged my frickin' head into the wrong port on my cab because I'm a little drunk.
Like the perfect example was at this last show, I had not plugged in my return on the back of my head amp like all the way in, so I'm like, my whole thing's not set up. I'm like, oh shit, and then Brian is still setting up his cymbal, like tuning his whatever. Like, so Brian's still going. Kyle's kind of ready. I'm like, I'll get a beer or whatever. I'm like, and I'm like still freaking out. And name drop again. Johnny Ray was there, and he was like looking at me like, anything I can help with? And I'm like, I don't know, dude. I might just have to like bypass my board because I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, you just have to run through the Miku, man.
Yeah, and so, and then I go back to just double check. I'm like, the return's not in. So the whole signal was like going through the whole thing. I'm
then stopping
at the return, so not coming back. Anyway, so that was fixed because all I had to do was like check all. I checked all the connections. I'm like check, and we were still done in under 15 minutes.
Yeah,
and set up. Like the only person who noticed my freaking out was you and Johnny.
Yeah, I was like,
"Are you okay?"
Because I was done tuning. I had just figured out the logistics because I have a board that everything's just all on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like so kind of
And
leave
so
it
I'm
on and kick it out
I
of
was
the
like,
way.
I'm trying to figure out the cable situation because it was like in the way, and I look over, and I see you like looking behind your amp. I'm like, oh great, something's up. So I figured out mine, put my shit down. I'm like, are you good? And you're like, I can see in your eyes, like, no,
Yeah, because
like shit's on fire over here.
Yeah, because I was using my 900, which I haven't gigged with in a while. I
Yeah.
usually just practice with that, and then I was borrowing my buddy's cab because we backlined and sharing
Solid.
cabs. I'm like, okay, shit. I'm like, I'm like, I have it plugged in, right? I'm like, I'm not an idiot.
How
And
many
then-
cab was that, by the way?
was a Mesa cab, 4x12.
Nice.
Oversized. Oh god, that sounded great. It was
Yeah.
big old beefy cab. It was cool. I'm like, man, I like playing a half stack. They're pretty sweet, especially when you don't have to bring the cab. They're pretty sweet.
That's the best. You should
so-
have brought your 412, your orange.
Yeah, I should have had a full
Could have
stack.
tried.
But yeah, so I so that gave me enough time to figure out like, oh, okay, cool, because we're setting up quick. Basically,
Yeah.
everything's all ready to go, and my board is pretty much plug and play. It's super easy to set up. It's like it's color coded, for God's sake. Like the way I have it is so easy. It's easy when you plug in all the plugs, though.
All the way. It's like out like an eighth of an
It
inch.
was just a tip, but that was not enough. I needed to have it all the way in.
Sometimes.
Anyways, so maybe playing too long, and then I guess the last one I had was like we harp on it a lot, but not showing up with gear.
God.
It's like-
Actually, this last show was fine.
Everybody brought
Everyone was, reliable.
on point. Yeah,
Yep.
they all brought their stuff, and we even offered to do a bass, amp, backline with
Yeah.
the our friends band, but they're like, no, I have my shit dialed in. I like it, so I'm like, it's easier for me if I just bring.
I mean, it's not the amp I would have wanted, but it didn't sound bad.
Yeah. It's like, oh, it's easier if I just bring my stuff. And I was like, okay, cool. Sounding great. But there was enough space to do both cabs lined up right next to each other. So,
Yeah.
And it
It's
was
an
good.
odd-shaped stage where there's like a small corner where just enough room to put both bass cabs over there and not be in the way.
Yeah. So anyways, that was kind of like a thing of like, okay, I wanted to kind of bring it to a topic of where we talk about band stuff.
Yeah.
So if that was boring for you guys, hey,
Let
or
us
maybe if
know.
you guys are starting a band, don't do any of the fucking things that we said.
Yeah.
Be prepared though. And, set up your stuff before the show, but don't do any of the negative shit that we said.
Be like a Boy Scout, you
Yeah.
know, be prepared.
Yeah.
Okay?
And don't be a fucking dickhead.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got another topic. So we
All
talked
right,
about
hit
it
me.
last time. These were kind of like NAMM hopes and dreams last time, and
Yeah.
some predictions.
Shattered.
Yeah, none of them were right. None of them were fulfilled. 'Tis life, right?
Good thing I didn't play the lottery.
I said fulfilled. None of them were fulfilled.
Furfield?
Yeah, it's like look, it's all this nice beer. If we were drinking Mickey's, I could drink a 40 and do this podcast and have it sound like bullshit.
Where you go, Sean Wright?
Thanks, Sean.
Look what you made us do.
Why don't you lollygag out of here?
So stupid.
Okay, so we are doing we're not trying to do like breaking news from NAMM.
Newsflash?
Yeah, we're like 2 weeks behind, but we're like, this is our take. Like, if some of the things that we saw from NAMM, it wasn't really that big. We were gonna do like a whole episode on it.
Yeah.
But it's good to just let's just touch on it real quick.
Okay.
These are. Do you want to introduce this segment, Kyle?
Yeah. This
From
is the
Summer NAMM. What
Summer
is it?
NAMM. This is the hitters and shitters. These are the hits and the shits.
Yeah. So only I really only saw a few things, but do you want to? What about for you? What's your first one?
I saw this is just today. I was kind of glancing through like what has gone on Instagram. I'm like, oh shit, I missed that. There's an amp. It's a head, right? Amp head.
Yeah.
It's from Third Power, which is actually a company I've never heard of.
I've seen them.
I've never heard of
They're
them.
boutique.
Yeah,
they're definitely
they're boutique.
definitely
Oh,
pinky.
that's why I haven't heard
they're
of them.
pinky up,
Yeah.
twisty
So-
mustache kind of amp.
What caught my attention was like just the shitty name of it.
Third Power.
Well, yeah, that's stupid. But the actual name of the amp.
What's the name of it?
It's called the Kitchen Sink.
Oh fuck.
I know. It's a really stupid name.
I kind of like it.
Okay, I think it's stupid.
I kind of get what it's about, but tell me about it.
yeah. Which is cool. As soon as I read that, I was like, oh, I know.
You go-
I haven't even read any of the article.
You go from rage to
Yeah.
intrigued.
I was like, oh, that's a shitty name. But I know what this is, like a Swiss Army knife kind of thing.
But
you
I'm
know?
a shitty guy, so tell
So
me about
it's a 40 watt head.
Yeah.
It's got a blend knob that lets you go between the two voices in the amp. So it has the AC style and then the American style.
So like a bassman or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it lets you blend between those, which is kind of cool. So some amps, they have different voices, but you either get A or B. You don't get C.
Yeah.
You don't get the blend, which is kind of cool. I thought that was interesting.
I think the Benson Monarch or one of the Benson amps is kind of like that. And I see, I've been saying that. I'm like, how do they do it? How do magnets work? That's pretty cool.
And then there's also a plexi tone too. So they have
what?
There's a plexi kind of voice in this too.
Oh God, they're up in the ante.
Yeah. So it lets you go between classic and plexi. So I guess you can blend between. I don't know the exact logistics.
Yeah.
But it's kind of cool. And there's also a built-in spring tank, all tube.
Is there tremolo in there too?
I don't think there's trem.
Oh well, fuck. That's the kitchen sink.
I should have looked that part up, but
that's the dishwasher. It's not the kitchen sink.
Yeah,
okay,
no,
got it.
It should have a lot of different. There's a foot switch you can have with it. Which who wants a foot switch attached only to your amp? I guess if you're
an amp only guy.
Yeah, which is I guess kind of cool.
That's where the tones is.
It's a handmade foot switch. Is what they say.
I got my amp, my hands, and my tones.
You know what also is handmade? Macaroni necklace I made for my mom.
It's pretty fucking sweet.
Oh yeah,
I think it's full of tones.
Yeah, and full of carbs,
full of cabs.
What do you got?
Statches. So from, I was like pulling for things that I was like, I was looking for like, is there anything good? We'll just kind of like run down a list that I had. I'm like, Fender came out with the Jimi Hendrix Strat, where it's like, I don't know, it's upside down headstock and like
but it's right-handed.
The bridge pickup is opposite, so it's like the bass part is like treblier and the first low E or the high E strings are now bassier because it's like tilted the opposite way. It's
more balanced then.
It's purple now. So
everything made in Mexico, right?
Yeah. Everything else didn't sell me until he said purple. I'm like, that's all right.
Oh, yeah.
Not gonna buy it. And then they came out with another Fender Strat that is white with white and looks exactly like every other fucking Strat, but it's from the dude from the Strokes. Can't name them. I don't know any of their names.
I know Julian Casablancas.
Yeah.
But he doesn't play. He doesn't have a signature. He has maybe a signature microphone somewhere.
Yeah. So that one, and then I'm like, okay. I mean, you guys probably, it's easier. It's just different switching, I think, options. I'm like, you guys are pulling for these. There's more Fender pedals, and I'm just kind of like,
yeah. I don't know enough about them to
I heard that they're really good, and I think 60 Cycles talked about them. Like, I think they demoed them or something. It's like, they're supposed to be really, really good.
Did Jay Cross say they're really good?
Yeah, Guitar Nerds, they said they're really good. I mean, you can take his word for it. He works for Fender. They're not going to listen to this. Guitar Nerds are not going to listen to this stuff.
They don't even know we exist, even though we had like numerous conversations.
And drink a lot of beers with them. That's probably why they don't know us. It's better. But I keep hearing that they're good. And the thing is, I probably am not going to give them a chance.
Yeah.
Because there's certain things of like, certain brands putting out like other things. Like Fender, okay, we got it. You guys are good with guitars. You guys have got the amps. And now you're trying to do pedals now? Shit, bro. Take it easy.
Next, you're gonna be making shitty shirts.
Save some pedals. Save some pedals for the rest of us, okay? And then it's like, Seymour Duncan. They did the pickups, and I heard they have really good pedals too. But I'm like, I kind of don't really want to try their pedals because I'm like, this is just me. So everybody's just like maybe raging, like you're a fucking idiot. It's true. I just like
you got me there.
Gotcha. There's certain brands I'm like, okay, I like maybe like don't give them the time of day that I really need to give them a shot. But I'm like, I heard that the pedals are fucking killer, but I'm like, okay, I saw they have like new distortion now. It's just like distortion, like I think it's like really like heavy, like not like metal, but it's like fucking, this is distortion. It's not even like an overdrive. It's like, it's a black pedal. I think it's, fuzz is another one. So like Fender's doing more and more. They're like Fender is like,
which I think is cool.
Yeah, they're like,
this isn't the first time they've made pedals too, right?
I think they've made shitty ones before.
Yeah.
But, they made like mini ones that were like looked like Chinese like Moors that they just like slapped an F on it, like boom, Fender baby.
Fooers.
And then Kiesel, they're mainly a custom shop thing, but I guess they have
Yeah.
a new signature. The country artist Johnny Highland. It's kind of like a Telecaster made by Kiesel with
That's
like
cool.
with Strat pickups. So it's like a metal-ish, like new metal, or not new metal. Sorry, I said that they're not new metal.
It's new, but
It's
in
a new
NEW.
Yeah, a new company that does predominantly metal guitars. They're not they're not like a bunch of corn dudes. Yo, dude, we're from 1999. You feel sorry for me because I'm different. I feel sorry for you because you're all the same.
Grow up, Brian.
Just like a bunch of freaks on a leash over there at Kiesel.
Shut up.
So, anyways, they're a more of a predominantly metal company, like fan frets, headless, stuff like that.
Yeah.
They do like the Evertunes, which is like kind of caught my eye, and they're San Diego company, and I was like, okay, cool. But they're like, oh, we don't only do that. So we're kind of like country. I'm like, I'm not a huge Johnny Highland. I think he's a really cool guy. I like love watching his videos because he's like super like personable, and I'm like, and he just fucking rips it. And the dude just like he'll stand there and look like he's like falling asleep, but he's like, I'm like,
said the country?
Yeah, country chicken picker
What the
dude.
hell?
He's got the hat on and boots and everything. He's just fucking like country picking dude. And I'm like, and he's playing the Kiesels. And so it's like, oh, it's cool. And so I thought that was kind of cool. They debuted that. And then Vox, they came out with the AC30 1x12.
Uh-huh.
Apparently they never did that, but they came out with it now. And I think that's kind of cool because it's AC30 with a fucking effects loop.
Oh.
So people who use effects loops, because they'd be like, oh, you put my pedals in the front. I don't use that. Cool for you, dog. Some of us use effects loops. I like to use the amp and then put delays and reverbs in the back of it. So it's cool that Vox is like, that was one of the reasons why I never wanted to play an AC30 because there's no effects loop.
And they're
I love
garbage.
this sound. No, I love
No, they're
this.
horrible.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
All right.
I don't know anything.
Just throwing shade.
Oh, yeah.
I like the sound of AC30s. And they're 1x12, so I guess it's, to me, I moving more towards the camp of a 1x12 guy. If I'm going to do a combo, I want a 1x12. But if I'm going to do a bigger amp, I'm doing a 4x12.
Hell yeah.
So it's like the spectrum. I'm kind of done with 2x12s right now. It's either 1 or 4. So I thought that was kind of cool. I was like, oh shit, it's kind of a cool deal. Not bad. And then we're going to your favorite brand,
Yeah.
MXR.
Yeah.
They let us both down. No tuner and no carbon copy mini. But they did come out with a new carbon copy.
Oh, man. I was so excited when I heard that they were coming out with a new one.
Did you see these? Along with that one, they had the Phase 90 psychedelic
God.
neon
Yeah.
bullshits.
It's like they're running out of ideas and they haven't heard our podcast
Our
yet.
idea is make a mini of a carbon copy.
We need to get a hold of their contact of their like customer service line.
There's
Spam 'em.
nothing. There's nothing really to be said. It just looks dumb.
Well, I'm just saying we need to talk to their R&D.
Is there anybody who can hook us up with MXR? Yo,
Yeah.
mini carbon copy. I don't know how you're gonna do it, but just do it.
Yeah.
Just do it. Bingo, bango.
Yeah.
Bongo.
I don't give a shit if it's magic or whatever you're doing.
Magic. How does that work? Magnets.
Shut up.
And then EVH chorus. So that was something that I'm like, oh, I could easily not ever do that because it's like, oh,
Yeah.
let's get the MXR chorus that is totally fine, but like let's get some EVH stripes
Graphics
on
on it, yeah.
and make it twice the size. Boom. And
Ah.
so yeah,
We said the micro chorus,
Yeah.
and then now they have that. Actually, now they have 3 choruses to work with,
yeah. So
and the analog chorus is probably the best.
so that was our take from NAMM. There's shit. Did we ever say anything? We said some good things. Oh, we didn't say what was hitters and shitters. What's a shit list for you? Other things that we said.
Shitless would probably be the MXR pedals.
All of them shitty.
Not all of them,
I
just
think
all the ones that came out.
I think they're really good. So I mean, I think they sound good, but they're just kind of dumb ideas. Fuck it.
I think the hitter would probably be that Kiesel.
Yeah, I think
That's pretty cool.
I think
They're
I'm
doing
a little
more traditional style.
yeah.
guitars.
I'm a little biased because I'm like, oh, they're San Diego company. They're doing
Well-
expanding their range. A little more like, oh, we're doing like our range is a little more like, oh, we're not just metal. We're a
Yeah.
little
We don't just do headless guitars.
we're a little bit rock and roll, but also a little bit country.
What's wrong with you today?
I don't know. I'm on it.
No.
I think I'm on it.
Yeah.
See, this is what happens when we drink nice beer instead of the shit Miller Lights or Milwaukee's Best.
Well,
Yet again, thanks, Sean.
Yeah. Third time we've mentioned you. I think this
Blake's
Scotch.
been calling us out too.
Yeah.
So Blake, calling you out. Shout out. Thanks, Blake.
Yeah. I think this Scotch is mixing with my blood. And
Yeah, no, so you're...
I mean my Scottish blood.
Yeah, so you're angry now. You're just
Am I angry?
You're shooting down all my ideas.
Yeah, well, your jokes suck. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, they always have.
You're right. I'm just more attuned to how shitty they are.
We're 32 episodes in. I'm realizing this is
I
all
want
out. Tapping out. I'm out of here.
What's another hitter that we mentioned then?
Shit. I
think?
don't know. I really think the AC30. I'm not gonna buy it. I don't think of right now because I have my amps. But I think it's a great idea. It's perfect. There's got to be another Brian Gower out there.
Did they modify anything else in the amp itself, or is it just the same circuit?
They have digital reverb now instead of spring. But I'm like, you're gonna use pedals in the effects loop anyways.
Yeah.
So fuck it. Who cares?
Yeah, if they have an effects loop,
People are like, oh god, there's not a spring in there. I'm like,
digital.
It doesn't really like. Who would go to a Vox AC30? I'm like, oh, I love that Vox AC30 reverb. Not me.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Well, shit, I don't know. Actually, there might be people out there.
Yeah, they're probably some degenerates out there.
Yeah, so that's that. And then the other stuff is like, just okay.
Yeah,
There's not really
it's
a lot
more
of
of a
shit.
mention. I don't really know anything about that kitchen sink amp.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think there wasn't really the whole gist of it.
There was probably more releases, but I know summer isn't really a release time.
I think we mentioned that before, but I guess they were right. It's not really a release time. But
Yeah.
you know, it was some cool stuff. Some we'll see how some of the other stuff is.
Yeah.
But this is kind of topical. So today we are recording on the 4th of July.
Yeah.
So quick question, Kyle.
Yeah.
Burgers or dogs? You know, it's a kind of a, grabbing some beers, 4th of July, fireworks, barbecue.
Can I plead my case?
Do burgers, dogs. What are you doing? Got a pick?
I mean, right off the bat here, I'm gonna have to say burgers. 'Cause burgers are good. You can stack as much as you want on there.
A little more versatile?
A little more versatile. Well, maybe I wouldn't say that. You have, hold on. You got your burger. How many toppings can you put on there before you start going awry? Okay.
Wow.
Before people start calling you out, like, why are you putting that on there? You don't put that on a burger.
Some people put eggs on it. I've seen that.
Yeah. That's
bitching.
But you don't do that on 4th of July. Okay, I'm thinking like you're grilling with your buddies. You're not going to be frying a fucking egg on the grill. Stupid fuck. So you have that, right?
Yeah.
You have, let's say your standard backyard burger is going to be your bun, which is essential to a burger.
Gotcha.
You have your patty. You have your vegetables, whatever. Switch it up. You have your condiments, okay? And then you eat it. You maybe have cheese on there. But with a hot dog, you could have a hot dog plain. And maybe no one mentions anything. But with ketchup, no one mentions anything. You could have like 8 hot dogs in one sitting and have them all different. If you have that as a burger, you'll be going away in an ambulance.
Yeah. People are going to be calling. You'll never get to that point because people are going to be calling like, yo, Kyle, you eating all the fucking hamburgers, dog.
Yeah. But you made a whole bunch of hot dogs nobody's eating. And that's where I'm the cleaner.
Yeah. You clean it up.
I'm cleaning that plate.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could do kraut. Oh my God. So I'm kind of on the fence, but I think a burger, just like straight up, like anyone can make a burger. Actually, anyone can make a hot dog. Damn it. Well, now I'm all getting in my own head here. Come back to me.
I might have to say burger for me.
Yeah.
It's like best burger is going to be better than your best dog.
That's true. The flavor.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And your worst burger
well
is going to be just as bad as your worst dog.
Fair.
It's like a hockey puck and the other one's like what? Fucking
a tube of dirt.
A
tube of charcoal.
Yeah, charcoal. Just throw that in with the rest of the
yeah, just open the grate, throw it in there.
Yeah. Yeah, somebody can scorch this. I mean, I think it's harder to, maybe a little more difficult to cook a burger.
Oh yeah, because you have raw meat there.
You gotta get it
that
right.
Factor.
Not too dark, whatever, oh shit, you don't want to scorch it and fucking get all the moistness out of there. And then with a dog, it's like don't kill it. It's like you're gonna scorch the shit out of it, boom, it's done.
That's why you boil your dogs.
You boil dogs. No, you gotta grill dogs.
I know. Boil, I don't know, boil's pretty good, but you're not gonna boil them out on the back porch,
You look like a fucking dickhead.
Yeah.
But
that's I mean, I think dogs are more versatile if you have more, Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna put sauerkraut on my goddamn a burger.
Probably could.
You look like a communist if you did that.
Commie. Yeah. Not on my 4th of July. Not in my backyard party.
Why? You sound like you're from Philadelphia.
Born and raised. Now I spend most of my days.
I hate to be Uncle Phil here, but that joke sucked.
And that one redeemed it. I don't know. I think that was about all I had. We're both on the burger camp. But the thing is, you can't lose. Either way. You can't lose.
If like I showed up to a party and all they had was dogs, I'd be like, sign me up.
Sounds like a good party to me.
You better bring like a whole. I'll take the whole pack. Just throw them all on there.
I can do 2 in a bun.
Yeah. Have you ever seen when people slice them down the middle?
Yeah.
I think it's fine. I've heard people like, oh no, you ruined the continuity. What, are you filming a movie or something? Like,
who said continuity?
I picked a word and that was
okay.
And I just kept running with it.
That was good.
No,
I like it.
Yeah, it's like you ruin the shape of the dog. It's like, what? You filming a commercial?
Yeah. You can't do that to it.
Yeah,
it's natural form.
Think about the dogs. Think about the doggies.
Oh fuck.
Yeah. So I sometimes do that with sausage, with not like brats, but like there's a Louisiana sausage that I'm sure it's not made in Louisiana, but
the
it's
hot links.
The hot links.
Yeah.
Split them down the middle, throw them on a cast iron pan.
Fuck.
Oh man, you get diarrhea when you get to work if you're doing it in the morning, but it's good.
So you get extra time on your phone.
Yeah.
On the company dime.
That's usually how things go.
That's all right by me.
Yeah.
Fuck.
But yeah, I like brats more than dogs. So
definitely.
Oh yeah.
And you put ketchup on your brats.
No, I do not put ketchup on my brats.
Okay, good.
My wife does.
Oh shit.
I know.
Get her in here.
I do mustard. I do onions and mustard.
We need to get her on the podcast. Like
just hey Carrie, how are you doing?
Explain yourself.
What the fuck's wrong with you?
Explain yourself.
Explain yourself.
Are you ready to move on to another one?
Yeah. What we got?
So you kind of brought this one up. Do you want to introduce it here?
Yeah. So I had been scrolling through Instagram and I had seen
scrolling through the gram.
Oh yeah, someone had posted like they were so proud of the job they were working on. It was a pedal board.
Yeah.
So they had a bunch of mounting tabs on the underside of their like PT board, whatever.
Yeah.
And they had zip tied like every fucking square inch. Or sorry, let me do a little unbiased on that. Every square inch of the underside of their pedal board, they had a mounting plate.
Yeah.
And they had zip tied their whole power, their whole 9-volt power scheme basically on the underside to hook to every pedal.
Yeah.
Every square inch.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Okay, so I'm going to elaborate a little bit more on this topic. So I
can't get there.
So very clean wiring boards.
Yeah.
And very clean boards. How about that? Clean looking boards so that everything's super straight and organized and, wired properly, whatever. And underneath and the top.
Mm-hmm.
And then versus sloppy. Like I'm throwing things on there and like throwing things together or whatever, kind of like feeling the moment, spur of the moment kind of thing. So what's the difference like boards? Sloppy versus clean boards? What's your take? Sloppy,
I think it's fine if like I'm trying all these pedals out to figure out my chain.
Yeah.
And clean is like this is the port. This is the pedal board I'm going to be buried with.
Okay, well, I guess what was the thing that got you the first time? Because you saw that and it pitched.
Oh man,
you sent you enough for you to screenshot it.
I screenshot it and sent it to you.
And pissed. It was you were pissed.
I was like, what the fuck is wrong with this?
I looked at it. I'm like, I think that looks great.
Yeah, for you it looked great, but for me, I look at that and go, this guy's a fucking serial killer. Which isn't a bad thing,
He's just fucking murdering Toucan Sam and Tony the Tiger.
What? What?
Cereal.
Fuck you.
Fiction for kids, okay?
Yeah.
What's the name of the rabbit?
The rabbit
from Tricks.
I don't know. Does anyone
know? Lucky?
Maybe it's
Lucky
lucky.
the rabbit?
Maybe it's
Anyways.
lucky. Yeah.
Anyway.
No, lucky is
The leprechaun.
it's a leprechaun.
Okay, from Lucky Charms.
Yeah.
Sorry,
No, so-
sorry, Sonny.
Yeah.
Is it Sonny? No. Anyways, that's what you say. Sorry, Sonny.
Sorry, kid.
Anyways, so your clean boards, the clean wiring, you don't like it
No,
because
well,
if somebody's like taking too much, like they have too much time on their hands.
no. There's a difference between like clean and like fucking pristine, where you have too much time
You're
to
like,
work with that.
yeah.
You know, to me, like I said, you look like you have something going on in your head where like that's acceptable. You know,
You're like the
You're
type. You're like the type of person who sets out your clothes, your underwear and socks for the next like 4 weeks.
yeah, I don't have enough clothes to do that.
I never
I
fucking wash
gotta
my
scrub
clothes.
the shit out of my drawers a day before I wear them.
I have a weekly pair of underwears. I wear
Cycle through it. They have numbers on them.
one pair of draw each week. Luckily, this is not a smell-o-vision.
Yeah, Jesus, I don't
No,
do that.
That was fucking dumb. Okay, go on.
No, so that the super clean bugs me. I get it if, like I said, like that's a working board. Maybe they're doing P&W. Maybe that's like they have their board for church and they have their board for home, but their board for church is set, and that's the only thing they're doing with it.
Okay, yeah, they
That
leave
that
it.
may have been what I saw.
Yeah.
It may have had Strymon on it, and because I know the power, the actual power supply was Zuma or whatever
the
it is.
Strymon one. Yeah,
Yeah, it was Strymon.
So that kinda leads it
starting
there.
from the ground up. You're starting with a piece of shit. You know, you're probably a piece of shit pedals.
That's
you know?
probably the best of the best. You're just like jealous.
They had Dan Electros on the top and Digitech pedals.
Fucking Christ.
No,
Okay.
no. So, yeah, I think you can't get too clean. You can't get too into it.
Okay. Well, here's
'Cause
my
for me, I'm new into this. You know, I'm like 6 months into pedals.
You can't shackle me down. Okay.
Yeah,
I-
I put and I think I built my first, and Brian's gonna rag on me in like 2 seconds. I built my first like full pedal board the other day with different brands, not all and he called me out on something.
Said it looked like fucking shit.
Yeah.
Because like pedals are hanging off the edge. I mean, you're kind of barely like hanging on there.
But you know what? All my really good friends said I did a really good job.
Okay. My mom said it was the best wiring job ever.
And she took a picture and put it on the fridge.
Put it on the fridge. Well, I can see where you're coming from because exactly, it's like, okay, I don't want to be shackled down. It's like, I don't want to be chained down because I'm a peacock. You got to let me fly, okay? You got to let me flap my wings. But for me, when things are too messy, if you have a board where it's like, okay, cables are everywhere, all kind of crisscrossing all over the fucking place, it's like you don't know what's gonna happen. Okay, if you're at a show, I always look at I always look at from like a show perspective. You need to know your fucking chain. You need to know where things are going. And from the underside, like that's how my show board is. I'm kind of one step away from like labeling my power supply of to which pedal is to which port. I think I just need a label maker. I'm gonna do that. And then I do have those like little chains of where like things go. I recently added onto my board. I changed a couple pedals out. I added on the fucking Nocturne brain.
Yeah.
The Billy brain for the last show that we did.
Confused the shit out of you.
No, it was hard for me to wire it up because my board was so set up for my prior like pedal setup. And I was like, shit, dude. I was like,
See, that's the downside of making it so fucking custom to what you already have.
You're right. When you're right, you're right. And so it was a little hard for me to get it to work, but I ended up switching a couple things around and getting it to work in my chain and with my setup. So there is a downside to it. But for me, I'm like, there's not necessarily like, it's like, I want to be able to, the contingency. I want to know everything that's going on with my setup. I want to know everything that's going on with my board. Because guess what? You're at a bar, like we said, you got fucking 15 minutes to set up.
No, I get both sides of this.
If your dickhead setting up for 30 minutes, I'm like, one, don't do that. And three, I'm like, know your board, know your gear, know everything that you need to set up. Like, just get it right. And I'm like, that's how I'm pretty easy chain. I know my chain, and I don't have anything super weird or whatever. But I have my power supply set up, and I know how it's all geared up. And to me, that's why I like the super clean look. To me, I look at that sometimes. Like, I will be on Besttronics will post things, and then I look at it. I'm like, whoa, that is nice.
I could do that.
They have their ports in the front. That's how I have my board set up. And I'm like, oh, basically everything's set up to your board. All you have to do is like plug in like 4 pedals or like 4 plugs, and you have a 4 cables set up done. I'm like, yeah, oh my god, we made it.
No, I get both sides of that. But for me,
if it's too clean, mine. If you haven't seen the bottom of my board, but it's not. I've
seen all sides of your board, bro.
It's a little messy, but it works for me because I take the approach of having it clean, but I'm like, okay, I need to have some room for some stretch.
Yeah, and I get that. Back to that picture I sent you, it was like, there's no room after you set this, set in stone.
Yeah.
Fucking put it in a museum after you're done with it. This is done.
Archaeologists are going to be coming through, finding your board, and they're going to be like...
Some of the 9-volt cables I have under there are like way too long.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, it'd be nice if I zip tied this to something. But right now, this isn't how the board's going to be.
Okay.
So I just let them flop around. Yeah. Tuck them under something.
So I'm at war with myself because I have my show board, which is pretty much zip tied all together, and they're all kind of like set. Like, okay, maybe like I said, I switch like a preamp pedal around before my fractal and stuff like that. But my home board, which I'm like, I have 2 pedal boards. I have more people. Sorry. My home board, which I'm like, okay, constantly switching pedals out and whatever, different drives, different like modulations, delays, and stuff. That one is like, I'm kind of at war with myself. I'm like, I like to have it clean. But I'm like, oh, I'm switching them out. I'm like, oh, fuck, I gotta undo this. Oh, damn it. And luckily I have those Velcro loops.
Yeah, you don't zip tie.
But I'm constantly like undoing all these Velcros and then doing it again and then setting it back up, and then I play it.
I just picture you. Oh, shit. Going down the line.
Son of a bitch. Who set this up? Who's this piece of shit that did that? Oh, it's me. I'll give you a pass this time. And so I'm like,
this time.
And then I set it all back up, and then I'm like, oh, I get a couple like new pedals that I put back on. I'm like, fuck. And then I have to go back and do the whole thing again. But like I said, I'm like trying to let that go. I'm trying to gain more the Kyle style, like kind of like the sloppy. But
I think there's a good medium in between. You can't be too sloppy. Like right now, I only have patch cables that are like 4 inches long.
Yeah.
So that's what governs.
Whatever pedals can fit together.
Another order into Sinusoid to get some longer ones.
So to get that name in, Jesus Christ.
I'm sorry. I really like those slivers.
Yeah, they're pretty sweet, actually. I need to get an order in, actually.
Maybe we'll do a joint order.
Yeah. Puff puff pass, dude. I don't know. I don't know. I think I got nothing else to say. Like there's.
So what do you lean more towards? Do you lean towards the messy or the like? Well, okay, maybe I don't give a heck. I don't have any heck to give. Or like, this is in a laboratory.
For live, it's got to be clean as fuck. Streamlined, get it down. But if you're experimenting and changing pedals out a lot, sloppy it up.
Thank you.
Okay.
So you called me out, you bastard. And
well, I mean,
that's all it.
Why not?
Next topic. No, I think whatever you're settled with, I mean, whatever works.
Yeah.
Whatever you can, if you know what you're working with, you can troubleshoot really quickly. That's what it really mattered. But that's what it comes down to.
If it works, it jerks.
Stamp of approval on that one.
Fucking one-liners.
Jesus Christ!
All right, I think we're gonna bring it on home. What do you think, Kyle?
Yeah, let's do it.
We just want to say thank you guys for tuning in to our show. And if you guys like what you hear and you want to be a part of the show, you guys can check us out on the social medias. We're on Instagram. We're on the Facebook group. So search the Tone Jerks. We're posting cool ass shit
There's a couple strenuous questions you have to answer
on the
but,
Facebook group. Yeah, we're gonna grill you.
We're trying to fill you out and see if you're one of us.
If you're, yeah. So check us out, and then if you guys really like what you hear, you guys can help support the show on Patreon. You can become a patron of the Tone Jerks for as little as $1 a month, and for $2 a month and up, you guys can get an extra episode every week. Oh yeah, you guys get extra episodes, the behind the scenes shit. And we just want to say thanks to our Patreon patrons right now. So you guys, you ready for this, Kyle?
Yeah, I'm ready.
We have RJ Smith from Teletalks.
Oh, man.
We have Johnny Ray, Mr. Johnny Two Guns.
Johnny.
We have Co and Paul from the Flippin' Flippers podcast.
Those guys are sick.
We have kind of a newcomer. We have Abe Newman.
Abe, thanks for joining.
And another newcomer, Michael Newman.
Are they related?
They are not.
Okay, all right.
But they're related by the tones, the power of the tones.
Yeah, power of the tones. They're brothers.
We have our boy, Jim Bowers. And then we have Joseph from Like My Pedals.
Joseph.
We didn't give him a shout out, but he's got good shit, good pedals.
Oh yeah.
Then we have Fat Foot Effects, big support of the show from day one. Keep saying it, but like cool shit coming down the pike. Keep it up on their Instagram.
They keep it on the down low also.
And we have MCG, and he goes by you see him on Facebook.
He's a man of many names actually.
Yeah. Ramjorn. Sorry, I'm calling you out.
Yeah, Ramjorn. Find him.
Thanks for supporting the show, dog. And then we have a new one.
Doug, right?
Doug Gann.
Doug Gann.
Double N.
Yeah.
Doug Gann.
Doug Gann. Oh, we'll say it. Yeah, it's fine. So let us know if we're saying your name wrong.
Yeah, call us out. Actually, I don't think he's in the group. So, join the group, dog. So thank you, everybody. We're glad that people are tuning in, and if you're saying anything that you guys don't like, call us out.
Yeah,
easy to find. Leave a review on iTunes.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
Say like, these guys are a fucking bunch of jerks about tone. But leave 5 stars.
Huge shout out.
Call us a bunch of fucking dickheads, but leave 5
please
stars.
Leave 5 stars, but then be a jackass on whatever you write.
Yeah, because you know what, we're gonna read your reviews on the air. So I think we're spitting a bunch of hot air and talking a bunch of shit. We're going to hit the grill. So I hope you...
Yeah. 4th of July, we got to grill something.
We're a couple days late, but, when you guys are hearing this. But I hope you guys had a great 4th of July, and we will see you next time.
All right.
We love you. Until next time.
See ya.
Bye-bye.